Alright, welcome everybody. We're going to run through a league with Devon taxes. Hopefully we don't play against a bunch of Bant tax and take a million years. But anyway, what we're looking at a list very similar to what I ran in the showcase to a totally reasonable finish. We trimmed the one surgical for a pithing needle, just because I kind of feel like it, and I want to try the pithing needle out, and I wasn't sure what else to cut for it. 19 planes, 16 non-basics, and basically all four ofs except for the equipment and the Retrofitter Foundry, of course, and the Sanctum Prelate. Alright, well, I will see y'all in round one in the Legacy League. Alright, we are going into round one. Let's see how it pans out. Alright. Tark Sar 1990. Alright, we lost a die roll, but this hand is totally reasonable. We have turn 0 interaction for any creature. Combo, we have, 4 2-drops. So we can pitch the extra Stoneforge or whichever Hate Bear is not relevant. Cool. Opponent decided to mulligan. We're obviously keeping. Alright. Opponent got to keep 6, it looks like. Oh boy, once upon a time. So it looks like our hand's pretty good in this matchup. I would presume it's the Madness deck, but we'll see. Snow-covered forest could also be Reclaimer or Elves. Let's see if we had a Swords Plowshares here too. Alright, I don't feel like the Thalia is going to be very good in this matchup, so I'm just going to go ahead. Do that. I don't want that thing sticking around. And we can either play Spirit if they have like a Sylvan library, or we can play Stoneforge if we need to, get frisky. Okay. Could still be the same thing. Okay, well, at least we get the sneaky Kaldra, which the running joke is I'm very good at drawing Kaldra, right? So I don't hate the Jitte here. I think it also minimizes how likely it is that they kill the Stoneforge right away, which I don't hate. I will not block. Okay. So I don't think, so they can crop rotation for a Thespian stage. I don't think they can combo us this turn. So I think we just go Saga and then put the Kaldra in. I'm kind of about that. Leave up Swords Plowshares. Okay. 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 Okay, cool. So we're just playing against Reclaimer. Super glad that we have this Rishadan port in play. Gonna be real nice. Okay, so it's Titan. Interesting. All right. Okay. Yeah, so we can port plus swords and attack for 5. Might start with the swords, honestly, but I don't think there's a reason to. We're not getting any constructs out of it, but this is fine. We might get a construct out of it next turn. I think we just leave up the Swords Plowshares to make sure that we don't get cheesed out here. And if we don't have to, we can always put the Jitte in. Okay, let's see what they're getting. It's a post deck. Okay. Well, that kind of changes this. Yeah, just get out of here. Can't really have that. Okay. Rexage? Sure. Okay. That's fine. I'm like pretty happy with where we're at. Alright, Flicker Wisp. Is there anything we want to Flicker Wisp? I don't think so. I think we just get in for... So we can attack for 6. If they want to trade, I think I'm okay with that. I don't hate this spot. Okay, so... if we attack for 6, they're priced into blocking for sure. They're definitely just gonna Maze of Ith this, right? And that's fine. Okay. Now we can port down a Cloud Post. Okay. 4/5 mana. Alright, I wouldn't hate to see a Wasteland here either. Plains, it's not terrible. I mean, it's kind of terrible. I think I'm fine with them just having a bunch of mana next turn. Okay, trade there. I think I'm fine with that. And I think we just put in the Stoneforge here. You can go get a Batterskull. It will be nice to be able to bring in the Cage for next game because we can keep any Green Sun Zenith shenanigans from happening. Yeah, they have infinite mana. That's fine. Okay. Like, we're probably dead this game. This is not a particularly good matchup, I don't feel. And the way things lined up, it just wasn't my favorite thing. Like, we're probably dead here. Let's see what we draw. Like, we're not actually dead. Alright, so they have 9, well, 12. I just kind of want to see more out of what's in their deck, right? Cost 7 to activate, so 2 ports, basically. Okay, so we can attack. Not really. Can't really attack. This sucks. I think we just need to put this Batterskull in. And then doesn't even use all our mana. So we can Flicker Wisp out the maze. Sure. Out the maze and attack with both creatures, probably. Yeah, I mean, attacking with the germ at least is completely free. Okay. Um, could you just hit a post, right? Because it's a million mana. If they don't have Emrakul in their deck, then I think we're in okay shape, but I think it's very unlikely they don't have Emrakul, so... Yeah, we needed to draw another Swords of Plowshares or a, Solitude. Would have done the trick, too. Just gonna take 6. No reason to block. Okay. Million mana, yep. Candelabra, okay. Emrakul, cool. Right. We can concede here. We have gotten to the easy concession part. Okay. Um, is Peacekeeper good? It might be, actually. Peacekeeper, Containment Priest, Cage, and Needle, probably? Yeah, I literally like all those cards. I don't think Retrofitter Foundry's where we want to be. Spirit of Labyrinth also seems pretty poopy. Bring in these 4. We can keep 1 spirit, sure. Alright. Alright, I don't hate this. Alright, we're on the play. Step 1. Yeah, we have a Wasteland and Aether Vial. A lot of tools here. I don't hate it. Like, Peacekeeper's obviously not my favorite thing, but it seems totally reasonable. And we're going to hide this Wasteland at least for a turn. I don't think they can win through a Peacekeeper. They might have like a Walking Ballista, and if they do, they do. Okay. Okay, well, yeah, I think we just play Wasteland Stoneforge Mystic. Get this Cauldron going. Classic, classic Cauldron Peacekeeper combo. Love to see it. We do hit like a Containment Priest. It's not bad because Flicker Wisp then starts answering things. Okay, Zenith for 1. Yep, makes sense. No reason to pump fake the vial here. Okay, well, I don't hate that. um, I don't think we can wait a turn on it, unfortunately, which means we're probably pitching this Peacekeeper. Yeah, we can always draw another Flicker Wisp too. Yeah, alright, fine. What are we exiling, though, is the question, right? I feel like it's Peacekeeper. Pow. Alright. Pretend like we have Swords of Plowshares, sure. Let's get in there, buddy. We can start pseudo-porting them with the Flicker Wisp here, too, which is nice. what a jerk. Alright, yeah. Hopefully we just hit a land so we can play and equip this Jitte to the Kaldra and get in with the Wisp. You can do it. You can do it. Okay, that counts. I don't think there's a reason to, yeah. And we get to free attack with the Stoneforge because if they block there, we get to kill the Rec Sage before damage actually happens. Okay. Five, six, seven, 8. So they're effectively at 3. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, I don't hate the spot we're in. Cloudpost, sure. Immediately gonna wasteland that, I think. Because we can just wasteland again if we need to. Yeah, okay. Cool. Alright. That's what we're hoping for. They stumble a little bit, we kill their dudes, and win the game. Alright. Well, yeah, I don't think we're changing anything. Cool. Yeah. Alright. Wild. Well, I was hoping for fast games, right? These have been fairly fast games. Yeah, Yorion, reveal, of course. I think we keep because we can turn off Green Sun Zenith and we have the Plow. We need more lands. This Calder's kind of already a mulligan. I think we mulligan. It's close. I mean, we keep this hand. Probably bottom of plains. Either bottom of plains or a port. I think the plains is less important, and we have a lot of white sources in the deck. Okay. So, time to immediately wasteland that. Okay. Deal. Their hand was interesting. I'm curious what else they have going on. Okay. Sure. Okay, so we just get to port this forest down. Once upon a time. Okay. Sure. Sure. Okay. Gotcha. What can we do with Recruiter? That is the question. We can kill all their creatures, so I'm not worried about that. What do we even get with the Recruiter? I don't feel like there's a lot we want. I feel like we just play Mom and port down a Cloudpost here. Doesn't feel great with the Candelabra, so maybe we go get a Skyclave? I don't hate that either, but I think Mom into Peacekeeper might be even better. Just because I'm not entirely sure they can beat that. Yep, yep. Yeah, so they have plenty of mana. Yeah. Oh boy. Okay. Not actually that bad. It's not great. Okay, what you got? Sure. No reason to swords yet. Alright, well. Peacekeeper it is. And I think we swords now? Or solitude now, whatever. Question is, what do we pitch? I don't even know if we need to, because I can't attack. Yeah, I think we can just wait. Like, they probably have big Eldrazi that's gonna kill me, but I think I'm playing the best I can to my outs. So, you know. Alright, what are we getting? Please just be Emrakul. Please just be Emrakul. Oh yeah, for sure. You have a billion mana, sir. Well, that's not fair. Good games, good games. All right, I'll see y'all in round two. All right, let's start round two. Hopefully, round two goes a little bit better. We'll see. All right. I told you I'm good at drawing Kaldra. This hand I think is too slow. This hand's much better. This hand's great. Weirdly, I think we bottomed the. Are we bottoming the Skyclave? Because all right, we need to keep this. Really? It's either Skyclave or Swords. My gut says it's Skyclave. How wild. Alright, cool. Cool. It's always nice to see a Vial resolve. Oh no. Okay. That makes me sad. I think the plan is just to wasteland them here. Especially if they take the spirit. But we'll see what they do. One upside to mulliganing so much is you always get to throw your Cauldron on the bottom. Okay, so it's a creature deck. Is it? It's not Death Shadow, right? I would be surprised if it was Death Shadow, but I have been wrong before. That's going to be a yes. And we're just going to waste here. Thali is a secret for later. Okay. Alright, well, let's put this mom in. I don't know what my opponent's on. I do know that probably both Spirit and Thali are good, so I don't really care. I'm inclined for them to take the Thalia because they're choked on mana and we have an Aether Vial. Yeah, there we go. Yep, yep. Cool. All right. I'm just gonna do this now. No reason to play a dance we don't need to play. Man, I feel like it's Death Shadow. I can't think of many blue decks that take Swords to Plowshares over Spirit or Mom, but okay, cool, cool, cool. This makes sense. Yep. The basic swamp threw me off a lot. Okay. Might as well get in there. I feel like we're actually supposed to sandbag this land. Because playing it out just means we're dead, but now they have to go to extra steps if they want to make sure their combo resolves. If they make me discard 2 cards, they make me discard 2 cards. It's fine. I'll just let it happen. I mean, I'm only discarding 1, so I don't feel too bad about it. Leovold, okay. All right, so it's probably a bug mid-range combo deck. It's nice that Spirit stops Leo from actually gaining advantage. And I think we're supposed to leave this here for one more turn. Okay. Yeah. I don't feel like we can freely attack here anymore. Yeah, doesn't seem that way. I feel like we don't want to put Yorion into our hand until the turn we use it. Alright. What you got? I'm sure they have removal, but... Yeah, Abrupt Decay, I assume? Okay. Okay. Not, like, excited about this, but it could be a lot worse. Yeah, so I think this turn we're probably going to put Yorion into our hand regardless. It's not really what we want, but okay. This has been a strange series of draw steps. Okay. Strix. I'm fine with Strix. It's nice that Yorion just bricks everything they have. Okay. Sure, sure. And they can get in for 2 points. We'll block the Leovold for sure. They should, yeah. Good place. Give me pro black. That's what I say. Okay. And we're definitely taking up to 5. Alright. Why not? So I can't, like, attack with much anymore. Just the Baleful Strixes, basically. Yep. Don't do it. Oh my god. So much damage. Thoughtseize me. Okay, well, putting Yorion into play for sure. Done. Yeah. We'll leave this on 5 in case we hit a Solitude. Yep. They get a Batterskull, which is unfortunate, but nothing we really could have done about this anyway, so I don't feel too bad. Yeah. They can attack with everything if they want. We'll block a Leovold or a Witherbloom. Opponent's in the tank. I will block. I'm absolutely priced into it. They're doing too much damage. The double Witherbloom's a beating. Okay, so yeah, they're just a fair bug iteration of the Witherbloom combo deck. They could just be playing Witherbloom as like a fair card and then just a couple of the Chain of Smogs. Seems totally reasonable too. Okay. I'll block here, block here. If they don't have a follow-up removal spell for the Yorion, I'm going to be really confused. Oh, okay. Weird. Seems like a strange attack. Okay, so that's... This is going to be a definitely yes, and we'll get to always know that. And always know. Okay. Okay. Give me just a second. Okay, so we finally drew a good card, which I'm a big fan of. I think we're just getting a Solitude here. What else could we get? We could also get a Flickerwisp. I don't hate just getting a Solitude. There are a lot of things we could get that are pretty good. The question is, do we think they have another discard spell? I feel like they do, so I feel like we just get a Solitude. And I think we just do this now. Keeps them from getting as many activations off, and I don't think we attack with anything here. But yeah, this means if they cast a spell, they drain us for 1 instead of 2, which is relevant because the Solitude gets to gain 3 life. And if we can find a Karakas or something else, we're in really good shape. Karakas, Flickerwisp, you know, most cards in the deck. We're pretty happy. Two cards on top, that's not great. Oh man. Alright. Okay, so we know how they have the Chain of Smog combo, which was very likely, but it's still good to know. Okay. So we know they have Duress, Thoughtseize, and we'll concede there. We don't need to make them play that out. Okay. Cool, cool. So were we supposed to... No, because we killed one anyway. Yeah, so we were dead regardless. Okay, I don't feel bad. They aren't turbo, so we don't need to worry about that. I don't think either of these are particularly good. I think it's just a grindy matchup where we want to make sure to kill their dude. Yeah. I don't think they had Green Sun Zenith. They could. Um, Probably the cage is probably fine to bring in. The needles probably quite medium. I think we just resubmit. I think the matchup is actually very good. But we mulliganed and then missed on lands. We kept it 2 land, but you know, it's something that can happen for sure. Yeah, like Mom's good, Sword's good, all these cards are good. Literally the whole deck seems pretty good against them. I like their configuration though, from what I can tell. Alright. Yes, we'll play first. Yes, we'll reveal the Sky Noodle. Yeah, I mean, we keep. It's a little slow, but certainly not the worst hand. And we have a Mom. I don't really want to mulligan against the deck that we've seen a bunch of discard out of. And if the game goes long, which it likely will, like these Solitudes end up being like very good. Okay, Preordain. I also like that we have Solitude with 2 other white cards in hand, in case they do turbo the combo. So in case they go like, if they have Petal in their deck, they go Petal, Dark Ritual, Petal combo. We can just kill it in response. I can't imagine they do that, but 1 card on top, 1 card on bottom with the Preordain. All right, well, I mean, we get to. I'm doing this because I don't think we want to make a construct next turn. I think we just want to recruit. Honestly, recruiting for a prelate and naming 1 or 2 seems like real good. Okay. Sure, sure. I still think we're recruiting. Just to make sure we use all of our mana this turn. Yeah, so we either get a 2-drop to hope to double spell next turn, or we get a Sanctum Prelate and name 2 and shuts off a. Like, it seems really good. Cool. Now we just pass. Then we can either get Retrofitter Foundry or a slow Aether Vial, neither of which I hate. And they don't know about any of these, just the Sanctum Prelate, right? They don't hate our spot. I don't feel like this is a deck that would play Torpor Orb either, but, you know, crazier things have happened for sure. Okay. Probably gonna Thoughtseize me if they can. Peloton 2 seems like quite the beating for them. I think I would actually get an Aether Vial. Yep, okay. So they Thoughtseize. They see our hand is pretty gross. And we get to suit up this Recruiter and attack. Probably. They have to take the Prelate. Because they certainly won't get another chance if we untap. Oh, wow, okay. Do they have like Sudden Edict? Something silly like that? Wow. Mad respect for a Kaldra. Do they have another discard spell? Chain of Smug targeting me. Okay. Yeah, alright. I think we just accept that it's a 2-for-1. Nope. Now we just get to go Sanctum Prelate onto. It means they can't Abrupt Decay, they can't combo us later in the game. Yep, seems like a free attack. Okay. Yep. I think this next turn we might make a construct. I don't hate making a construct and make a 2/2 and then getting a Aether Vial. You make a 3/3. It's not terrible. Should we play with Phyrexian Metamorph in this deck? That card's sweet. I think we can tutor for it, cast it for 3, put it in off a Vial for 4. Like, that seems nice. Maybe it's not bad to suit up. I guess we'll see what they do. Because if we can attack for free, then I like the Jitte. Don't wrath me. Don't wrath me like a jerk. Don't deluge. Don't do it. Looks like a deluge. Yep. Alright, alright. What a jerk, first of all. Alright, let's see what we draw. Okay. Yeah, and I don't hate... I don't hate getting a Retrofitter Foundry here. Just lets us use our mana every turn for sure. Aether Vial's not bad. Retrofitter Foundry seems real good. I'm about it. I don't know. This deck has a lot of decisions. It's hard. Push. Do we also have a push? That'd be rough. Okay, I get it. Jeez. Yep, alright, Recruiter down. Well, at least I get this sweet F6 value. Okay. Yep. Alright. Opponent ponders. What do they do? Did not shuffle. That's not what we want to see. It's not nice of you, opponent. Alright. Yeah, so we can make a 1/1 and equip. I don't hate it. I don't think there's a reason to do anything else. I don't really like the idea of just putting Yorion into our hand against a Thoughtseize deck. Not without also doing other things. Wish I could put damage on the stack so bad. So bad. Damage on the stack. Sacrifice the servo. Make a flyer. Okay, Uro. We can beat an Uro. There are a lot of cards we can draw to beat an Uro. Also, if we draw a Wasteland, like, we can make it hard for them to cast the Uro. Because they have double green, double blue? Okay, well, yeah, I guess wasting means they still can't. Man, Spirit of Labyrinth's so good in this matchup. Alright. I guess I can just F6, right? We were talking about that F6 value anyway. We're definitely crashing into this Baleful Strix. 1000%. It's been a while since I've seen a Toxic Deluge. I wasn't surprised because they're playing kind of an old style deck just with, Uro and the Witherbloom in it, but you know, bug decks consistently would board in some number. Makes me want to play Mirran Crusader again. That card's so sweet. Alright. Okay. Well, let's attack. Okay. Awesome. He's got to have a push or a decay, right? Okay. Cool. See, okay, no decay now either. All right. And yeah, let's go. Let's go get Kaldra. Because that beats in a row. So we can, if they go to kill the servo, we can protect it. Obviously, if they have a removal spell, they're going to kill the Stoneforge. I don't think it's very close. This Kaldra is a real problem, though. Blue, black, black. Is there another Deluge on the horizon? And they're just going to pay, 5. I guess they don't want to let this Stoneforge survive, but still. So they probably, if I'm deluging and I'm them, I'm just deluging for 2. Okay, let's. I think we do this. If they name servo, that's fine. We just make another servo. Yeah, okay. I mean, Plague Engineer is fine, but we can always just kill it, right? Okay, sure. So we kill it and make another. Man, Plague Engineer is much worse against Death and Taxes than it used to be. I remember seeing that card and just going, what were they thinking? Okay. Yeah, I mean, kill the thing. Okay. So we're at the same spot. Alright. Yeah. Kaldra. And I don't think there's a reason to not suit up the Kaldra. I don't think there are any Black Edict effects for literally just attacking creatures. Okay. That's good to see. They have a removal spell for the Jitte, maybe? No? Alright. Deal. This has been a weird game. I'm not gonna lie. Very, very weird game. I love it. I used to love these bug versus D&T style matchups, but there were a lot. It was almost grindier, and like I was almost a combo deck because the plan was just Mirran Crusader with any equipment, and they died immediately. Basically, you just made sure to have one or two other bodies in play, so that way they couldn't just Lily Edict you. But man, none of these cards see play anymore. It's kind of wild. So yeah, we get to If we draw a land, we get to put Aether Vial into play and potentially make a construct. Um, let's see. The Kaldra can attack for 9 here. Jesus. That is many points of damage. I don't regret getting Retrofitter Foundry. It's been around. It would have, what, 2 counters on it at this point? Is there a Force of Vigor? Yeah, okay, cool. So, go ahead, kill your guy. I mean, the Retrofitter Foundry costs us 0 cards, so I don't mind it. And I guess we'll gain 2 life. And we still have this Kaldra and the Servo, and that was their turn. Man, so this turn we just play Aether Vial and put Yorion into our hand, probably. And attack for 7? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean... Don't hate this. And now they can't even Thoughtseize us, because they'll die. I guess they can Thoughtseize us if they put Uro into play, but then they die. So... Oh my god. Oh, yeah. Please try to combo me. Oh my god. Oh my god, yes. I'm I'm so I'm so happy right now. Oh man, opponent, you played that game so good. I think. But then, we just drew cards. We just drew one of our 4 solitudes. I guess we drew our 3rd solitude. So we do draw our Kaldra a lot, but we also draw Solitude a lot. So it evens out, I guess. Alright, awesome. That was great. Yeah. After seeing it, like, I don't think Hadron Needle are super important. Containment Praise doesn't do anything. Yeah, I'm completely fine with this hand. Alright. Yo. Okay, yeah, we have mana, we have things to do, and we get to keep 7 cards against a Thoughtseize deck. I am about it. Opponent's also down to 7 minutes, which they can absolutely kill us in, but it might be challenging. Yeah, sure. Look upon my lands. Here are all my secrets. This is a hard hand to pick apart. You probably take one of these 3 would be my pick, because you might draw another removal spell or a discard spell in time. Yeah, okay, cool. So they probably have the combo. That's not great. Oh, I guess that's why we're on 8 of that effect, huh? Yeah, I don't know why these blue players play cantrips. Like, why do you play blue? Just draw the right cards. Ooh, that's a pretty forest. Janus Mogg targeting me. I think I send it back at him. So we discard probably Land Thalia or Land Recruiter. And so they go to 2 cards, they send it back to us. We pitch probably Solitude. Yeah, okay. So we pitched Land Recruiter? Yeah. Yeah, I do. We'll go down to nothing. I got trust in the heart of the cards. Do they? Alright. Yeah. Let's go Hellbent. I'm about it. I'll do it. Okay. Yeah, alright. Yeah, nothing. No one gets anything. This is good old-fashioned magic. Alright, no one has any hand. I love it. Okay, cool. That got wild. I guess sometimes that's what happened when you chain a Smog. Now, I was tempted to copy it again just to send a message. Okay. I mean, I'm brave, but I'm not silly. Oh, what a jerk. I might start attacking. Okay. We'll get one attack in here. I mean, I play way more lands than them, even by proportion. Okay. Cool. Mm, we attack. Nah. I don't think we attack now. Okay. So the good news is if we hit a white card or a land, we're in really good shape. Okay. I feel like if I'm my opponent, I'm waiting on the brainstorm. Because, like, brainstorm's just so much better when you have extra cards in hand, but, you know, what do I know? I'm a filthy mono white control player. Cool, alright, yeah, that's... Turns out a land is a white card in that spot. Okay. What a jerk! No, I don't want to copy it. That's not cool, man. This game. At least it's pretty good content, I hope, for everyone. Oh, there we go. There we go. Let's get a Cauldra. Let's finish this game in 3 turns. Yeah, because we attack for 5 and then 6/6. Yeah. No answer? There we go. Now we don't cast it. Let's not do what we did when we played against Kai. And I think I'm just going to hold the Mom. So he's the 9. We get to attack for... I think he's priced into comboing regardless, right? So, alright. Yeah! Cauldra. that was that was delightful. Alright. So, you just gotta have faith in the heart of your cards. You just gotta Yu-Gi-Oh! It. And you know, you'll be a really good player. Dang, E.W. Landon's at 11 trophies? He usually just plays Reanimator, right? I guess he mixes it up, but that's what he played against me, and he savaged me, so it's probably a solid plan. Alright, oh, what? I'm glad this is recording, so everyone can know. I don't think this is a keep. This is reasonable. Put planes on the bottom. Yep. Are we just gonna get turn 1 with the Chancellor? Okay. No, we are not getting turn 1. Ooh. I think we just play plains and pass. Yeah. Okay. Unmask me. Sure. Not like a whole lot I can do about that, so. Okay, take Solitude. Exhume it. Cast Exhume, please. Okay. So I think we're just supposed to do nothing, right? Yeah. I guess if we play Mom and pay for her, then the Flicker Wisp does a lot of work because it just blocks creatures. Yeah, alright. Okay. I don't hate this. This could be much worse. Okay. Yep. Alright. Exhume. Damn. Alright, yeah. He probably had Exhume and he couldn't cast it, would be my guess, because of the Solitude, but I could be totally wrong. Alright, yep. Draw 14 is like a pretty solid plan. Maybe you've got nothing. Or maybe it's an Exhume. That's annoying, but fair enough. We can have sex now. We don't have to pretend like we have anything going on. Yep, Swords of Plowshares makes sense. I mean, if we get to untap and cast Flicker Wisp, like, we're not in terrible shape. What a jerk. Oh, wow, actually. So if he... Oh my god. What? Okay. Karakas, please. Jeez. Yeah, Karakas. Alright, we can pack it in. Yes. To a 13 power. Yeah. I'm okay calling it there. I guess the good news is we have a million things to bring in. So Silence, Cage, and Needle are actually all pretty good, as is Peacekeeper, Containment Priest. Are we literally... I think we're bringing in 15 cards. Retrofitter Foundry can come out for sure. Skyclave seems like pretty bad. I think I'm just going to cut probably all 4. We can trim some Flicker Wisps probably. I don't think they do that much. You supposed to trim Aetherfile? I don't know. Maybe. It's not a thing that does a thing. And we have like other... We can trim a Stoneforge probably. Alright. You know, this could be wrong. But it seems fine. Yeah. I'm cool with this hand. Yeah, if we get Mom Peacekeeper, I don't think they can win. They might have Massacre, but that's all I can think of. Nope. Don't think this does it. This'll do. I think we bottom A swords? Yeah. We want the lands. I have pregame effects, sir. Okay. And let's play a Plains. Okay. I think we... Depends on what we draw, but we might just Wasteland here. Okay. Sure. Kind of like Wasteland here. Don't hate that. Yeah. I'm actually going to attack too. This was a misplay. Should have played the Karakas, then the Sanctum Prelix, then I get an extra construct. Oh well. Oh well. At least I realized immediately after I did it. Oh well. Okay. I think we just named 4 here to make sure he can't massacre us. Seems right. Does he have a current list? Okay, we win. Okay, so he sometimes has the show and tell plan. Alright, so naming 3 is really good too. I still don't think Serenity triggers when being a viewer upkeep. So sometimes Skyclave Apparition is going to stop that if I have exactly on time. That doesn't seem right. Okay. I don't think he can beat Peacekeeper. Doesn't look like it. That's not going to do it. We need, especially on the draw, this is not going to do it. I will also mulligan. He mulled a 5. I'll go with him. Okay. This is not actually bad. I think we want the double Plains, so I think we bottom... We probably bottom Plains Waste. That seems right. Okay. They did not reveal that. That's great news. Okay. Now they can't ritual combo us. Okay. And if they show and tell, we just Solitude. But I think we're actually just supposed to port here. Yeah. And we port the C. Yeah. I don't hate this so far. If we just like Prelate name 3. How many underground seas could he possibly be running? One? I don't hate that. Yeah. Waste that. And then port you. Yeah, I like that. Which means I can't even like Lotus Petal into other things. Is there a reason to name 0 here? Like, don't hate that. Ah, perfect. I don't want to name 1 because of the Swords to Plowshares in my hand. But I don't hate naming 2. Because I don't think we have anything in our deck that costs 2. Naming 1 just shuts off so many cards in his deck. I think I'm going to name 1. Naming 2 also shuts off, like, most of his answers, right? Well, I'll name 1. We can always pitch the swords to the Solitude. Is the only reanimation spell? Well, he has Exhume too, but I think that's fine. We can always just pitch the Solitude in response and then reanimate the Solitude. Okay, so that was his 1 spell this turn. Now we get to start attacking, which is nice. Okay, well, I'm just gonna plink. Okay, so opponent has not passed priority in their upkeep. Interesting. So, So I think the plan currently is just keep porting down the lands as much as we can. Opponent. Wonder what they're figuring out. Like, I'm tempted to put Leyline of the Void into play if they show and tell, but that doesn't seem right. It's nice that they can't exhume or can't entomb right now either, or Faithless Looting. Yeah, like that's why we named 1, right? Sarah's Emissary is so good against my deck. It's gonna lag check. Okay, we're good. What is opponent doing? Okay, so we finally got to their upkeep. Okay. Unsurprisingly, we decided to port. Can't swords. We can solitude. Okay. Cool. That's what you like to see. Okay, I don't hate that. Let's attack. Alright, Urza Saga. You are a good card. Urza Saga, now we just get to start pressuring. Okay. Are we actually supposed to Flicker Wisp the Saga out? I think we are. How weird. Because we boarded out Retrofitter Foundry, right? Not Cage. Yes, we have the Cage. This also amps up our clock by, like, a lot. And we get another shot at these tokens. Okay, I'm about it. Yeah, so now we have a 3-turn clock, and we can start making constructs next turn if we hit a land. We'll see what we draw. Natural discard, okay. I wonder if it's even worth porting. Let's change our clock at all. So we make a guy, make another guy, get an artifact. I don't think it is. Like, I think it's worth porting. Yeah. Because it also means they have to play out Lotus Petal if they want to cast Exhume. If they cast Exhume, I'm just gonna Solitude, pitch Solitude. Whew. Alright. No 5-0 for you this time. Cool. Alright. There we go. That was round 3. Awesome. Alright. We are back. It is another day. Unfortunately, my webcam decided to get funky, but let's go ahead and finish this league. We're at a strong 2-1, so hoping to finish with that nice 4-1. Alright, and we are here for round 4. Win the die roll. Win the die roll. Die roll. Lost a die roll. Kairos. I feel like I've played against Kairos before. Yeah, let's definitely reveal Yorion. Yeah, this hand's good. For sure. I think it is. The only time it's bad is if my opponent's exactly on Death and Taxes. They could be on just like an Esper Vial deck. I don't think I want to mulligan anyway. Yeah, they're definitely on Death and Taxes. I should just... Oh, no. It is Esper Vial. Okay. Cool, cool. Cethali's much better here for sure. Like a scrub, we didn't even draw the Vial on turn 1. Yorion, Esper Vial, sure, makes sense. I don't think Prelate's doing much, maybe naming 1. But not super excited about that. Alright. Trying to think if they have removal. I don't hate Mom here. I also don't hate Spirit of the Labyrinth. Yeah. Baleful Strix doesn't do anything. Yep. If they have a Mom, they have a Mom. Wasn't going to be able to stop that anyway. No Mom. I'm actually not super familiar with the Vial lists, so I should probably pull this up. Gilded Drake, interesting. Teferi Time Raveler is pretty obnoxious, but makes me happier about this. Okay. Do they have basics? Not many. Alright, yeah, sure, Teferi. You got it. Okay, yeah, in the 80 card version they have, it looks like 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, alright. You have bounced my spirit. What would we even name with Prelate? Probably... Oh, well, okay, I think I'm just going to do this. We're just going to eat this Aether Vial. Yep. Nope. Can't be having that. Alright. I don't hate playing... Yeah, I don't hate either... We can double spell. I don't know if we're playing a 3 and a 1 or 2 2s. I think we probably want to play this Mom out. It's probably real good. Plague Engineer doesn't do a whole lot. If we do play out the Mom, we don't want to play out the... Okay, cool. So I think we want to recruit for another Skyclave. That seems pretty good. Do they have any flash creatures? I don't think they do. Yeah, I mean, they could have Swords to Plowshares, but that's fine. Just see if we can get this Teferi off the board. Okay, cool, that's fine. You can have a 1/1. So now we play Saga, play Mom, play Recruiter. I don't hate that. Okay. And I think, yeah, I just like getting rid of the Aether Vials for obvious reasons. Okay. And now we actually can just start making some constructs, which is nice. Baleful Strix probably. Plague Engineer on human, that's also a beating. But at least we can... We'll see. We'll see. I might Swords the Engineer, but I definitely want to get rid of that Teferi and that Aether Vial. So, okay. So, we can Swords the Plague Engineer. Swords the Plague Engineer, and then just play one other spell. I don't really like that. Or we can Stoneforge plus Spirit. I definitely want to use all my mana. The question is, what are we using all my mana on? Because we don't want that vial ticking up, right? So it's probably correct to just eat the vial. And then if he wants to use his Teferi, yeah. Yeah, alright. Do you have the answer? You do not. Yeah, just keep getting these Aether Vials out of here. Seems like a solid plan. And next turn we can make a... yeah, we can make a construct, put probably an Aether Vial into play. Palace Jailer, okay. Okay, so the Spirit of Labyrinth, very good.
So my other mic decided to die, so let's see what we can do here. I think we might just concede. Yeah, I think they're a little too far ahead. Alright. So, Peacekeeper is not bad. Containment Priest is an all-star, of course. Needle's great. I don't think Cage does anything, so maybe these three are what we're looking at. Dahlia seems like excessively bad. So I don't hate. She does like combat at least well. So maybe just in these two for two Thalias. I don't hate that. I think that's totally fine. Yeah, so if they have Vile advantage, we get to turn it off with the Urza Saga tutor for the needle. This hand's not going to do it. This hand's certainly better. We get to bottom this Batterskull for free. Alright. And of course we just want to draw like a million more lands. Alright. Okay, cool. So, what we got? What we got? Alright, it's my turn. Yep. Cool. Let's play out more threats. More threats. Cool. Do you have another removal spell, opponent? And please give me... I'll take just basic planes or Urza Saga off the top. I'll take Karakas too. I'm not going to be that picky. Okay. Are you exchanging control? Because I'm about that. Alright. This flies? Alright, yeah, let's get in there. I'm also tempted to hit their white source here, but I think we need the mana. I guess in case they have Teferi, that's a reason to do this. Yeah. Alright. And we have a Swords to Plowshares to follow up. Teferi's the only reason I can think that they would have taken that line. Damn. Alright, they did have another land. Alright, I would like to draw more lands in my 35 land deck, please. So if... Yeah, I think I'm okay with this. Maybe we just... Solitude... the other Gilded Drake? Do I even care? Like, these exchange, and then I get to attack for 3? I don't understand, but okay, sure. Perfect. Alright, and I think I swords the Gilded Drake here, because we can't have that going on. He goes up to 14, I go down to 15, and then we just keep racing, and if we hit some lands, we're in really good shape. By the way, the last hand, if I had had any lands that weren't exactly basic plains, I probably would have kept that hand, but Oh my god. At least you can't draw cards. Okay, cool. Okay, well at least that's a card. And we can port down probably the black. Yeah. And if we can hit a plains here, we're in good shape. Any white source, I'm very happy about. Yeah. Not really what I wanted, but okay. I guess, yeah, I mean, we can't cast anything anyway because it's a fairy. Man, you play 35 lands, and you're like, alright, we can do it, but but we don't. Alright, go to 9. Because, like, I really just want to Flicker Wisp this thing. Is he just going to put Yorion into his hand? If he does that, I'm, like, pretty fine with that. Spellseeker. What are we getting? Swords, Plowshares, sure. Deck. Deck Y. So I think we just swords the Spellseeker, and then we port. I don't hate this. Hit the white black since they have plenty of blue. Okay, ticked up, makes sense. You don't really want to tick down to do literal nothing, and you don't want to put the spirit into my hand. Alright, alright. Jesus, deck. Oh my goodness. Do we just swords the spirit? I don't like that. I think we do. This feels bad. Feels bad, man. I don't think we can just, take a couple more hits and die. Yep, and Orion's in their hand. This is not where we want to be, unfortunately. Okay, tick up to fairy. Sure, sure. Okay, that's fine. Human, sure. Okay, well we finally found a land. I don't hate just Flicker Wisp, hit the plains. He can bounce. I don't think we care too much if they. Yeah, we're just gonna port down that. Alright, and F6, since we can't cast anything on our opponent's turn because Teferi. Alright, so they waste me here probably. No? Gilded Drake, sure. Alright. Okay. So now we probably flicker the Flicker Wisp. Okay. He does have Swords of Plowshares, exactly. I don't hate this then. Let's name one. Force of Will. Okay. Yeah. If you want to trade off, we can technically take this hit for 5. Okay. Yeah, they block. Smart. Interesting. Yeah. Take 2. Hmm. 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 Alright, well, first things first, I guess, right? Attack Teferi, since we're not blocking. We can Flicker Wisp. I don't hate this. Force Will. Venser, sure. Yeah, and we are dead. Cool. Alright, so kept a 2-lander, then we bricked on lands for literally infinity turns, but is what it is. I think that match is pretty favorable just because we can disrupt their mana pretty heavily. And like I know it's called Esper Vile, but I think we're the better Vile deck. Just because all our all of our cards are good, and they are playing cards like Baron, Tolarian Archmage, Callous Bloodmage. What does this card do? Create a 1/1. Sure. Okay, so it's Graveyard Hate. 1 Plague Engineer. Yeah, I mean, the deck is just less focused, right? Um, cool. Alright. Let's see if we can finish up with a positive record. Okay, we won the die roll. Step 1. Make sure I'm recording. Step 2. Okay, perfect. Alright, here we go. Yeah, I think this is a pretty easy keep. Yeah, we have a Swords on 1, Hate Bear on 2, Recruiter on 3, potentially. Stompy Robo. So they could be a Stompy deck, or they could just be like, trying to get me. Now I've already kept my hand. I'm curious. Okay, so they have 1 result and it's in Modern, so can't put much stock in it. It is a Titan deck, so my guess would be some sort of combo. I wouldn't hate if they played out a creature that we want to kill here. They could be playing Amulet Titan in Legacy. Yeah, that could be Amulet Titan. Or Turbo Depths. I don't think they can combo us this turn. Okay. We have Aether Vials, and so I think we want to play Spirit here. And then next turn we can Recruit or Apparition. I don't hate Apparitioning to hit their Mox Diamond, but I think Recruiter to go get Stoneforge or Solitude to keep from getting cheesed out is a solid plan. Okay. All right. What we got? What we got? All right. Another one. Cool. Cool. Good news is that's a thing I want to kill. So, so I think we're probably just swordsing. Oh, I don't hate that. Um, might just skyclave that. Honestly, yeah. Yeah, I mean we're 100% killing this every time, right? So might as well just use this. Oh, fetching now. Okay, sure. I don't think I attack because now if they swords, we lose both our guys. Yeah, let's pass. It's fine. So now they get to make one construct and go get probably a retrofitter foundry, but we'll see. We have some good follow-ups, depending on how things proceed. Okay. Yep. You made a guy. Sure. Name Urza's Saga? I don't know. If we need to, we can just eat that thing. Oh, okay. I mean, I'm pretty happy with that, honestly. So we can just swords the construct, and if we hit a white source, also skyclave a mox. Okay. Yeah, I think we just swords. Play a GT. Um, we can pretty freely attack with the 2/2 at least. Cool. All right. I think we're just getting Ether Vial here. I feel like this game might go on a few more turns at least. Needle was an interesting choice. We'll see. See what they do. Sure. Okay, so we have a Sylvan Library coming down that we're gonna eat with a Skyclave. Sure. Well, that answered my question. Yeah, we'll just get an Ether Vial here since we're a little strapped on mana. Chomp. Okay. And now, like, if we hit a land, I don't hit eating a Mox Diamond either. If we don't hit a land, we just suit up the Skyclave with the 2/2. Doesn't matter. Green Sun. Sure. Dryad Arbor. Alright. Interesting. We have another Green Sun for a Reclaimer. Prismatic Ending. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Alright. Well, not gonna lie, that's obnoxious, but at least we get to get in for 4. We did keep 3 lands, right? And we just haven't drawn any. Okay, I'm just. It's gotta check sometimes. 3 lands, 32 versus we've had, let's see, 13 cards, so 6 additional minus 1. So in 5 draw steps, we've hit 0 lands. Alright, alright. Sure. Another, it's either an excavator or a knight. Okay, sure, sure. Alright, land. Don't care which one. Not even gonna be picky. Tech, why? Alright, well, can't attack. Let's play a Retrofitter Foundry. And pass the turn. I still think we're in fine shape. Especially once we get to next turn, because then we have a lot of free interaction. And we can start using our mana in this Retrofitter Foundry. It's nice that we can make colorless blockers, so we can't even get punked out that way. No 2-drops, all 3-drops all the time. We could Sanctum Prelate on 1. I don't hate that. Feel like we just pass. See what they do. Yeah. No reason to go ham. Okay, you can get the land, that's fine. I think we just named 1 with this prelate. Okay. Yeah, and that means they can't crop rotation now. Okay, sure. It's nice, so we set off their Swords to Plowshares as well as... Yeah, this is great. Okay. Let's make a 1-1. We're now ticking up. Okay. Feel like we're supposed to do that. Let's just go ahead and eat this knight. Okay, yeah, game's over. Awesome. Alright, Green-White Depths, pretty good matchup. Let's see if we can actually finish it. I don't think they can beat us without attacking, so Containment Priest for, like, 1, we can weaponize Containment Priest because of the Flicker Wisp effects. I don't know if we actually want Containment Priest. It does stop Green Sun. So does Cage. I think Thalia is like really medium here. At least Spirit stops the stupid Sylvan Library. Yeah, I'm cool with this. We don't have to be the aggressor. We're certainly the control. And if they just like put a Merit Lage into play and we put a Peacekeeper, the game's probably over, especially if we can protect it somehow. I don't hate this, but it's not very good either. It is hard for them to combo us. I'm kind of about it. I like it. Yeah, we can go like Plains Vial into cards in our deck. Like, we obviously need to draw well, but Waste good, Port's pretty good, Karakas is very good against their 2020s. Usually I mulligan to interaction against a reclaimer, but I think we can. Sand's like reasonable enough without it. Okay, they mulled to fives. Like things are looking better for this medium 7. 4. Okay. Yeah, why don't my Doomsday opponents do this? I can wish, right? I can dream about that. Doomsday just mull to 4 and lose. Yeah, sorry, my it looks like the commentary probably cut out for a decent amount of the match versus Espervile, but I think that's the mic. I probably just need to get a new one. All right, not gonna waste that one. Hopefully, he has to play out another non-basic that we can waste. Okay, that's a pretty good waste target. I wonder if he didn't have. What? Okay, sure. Yeah, yeah. All right. I would love a Swords Plowshares or a Solitude, but I'm not gonna be that picky. Okay. Ask and you shall receive, right? Why not? And we get to waste this to make sure that they don't get to have green mana, because that's one of the only ways they can make a Mirror Age quickly too, especially without Mox Diamonds. Um, all right, that's fine. We can hamper their mana for sure by just hitting a snow cover. Okay. By Rashad importing down. Yep, yep. Pretty good. All right, let's see if I can have another insane draw here. Alright, that's fine. Might as well port down the forest. Don't hate that. Okay, yeah, so sack the flagstones. That absolutely makes sense. Okay, got a Savannah off that, and then what is he getting off of the Reclaimer? Where's the Saga? That's a good one. Ooh, cool. It immediately goes to 2. That's fun. What a jerk, but okay. I'm honestly not too sad about that. Yep. Let's put this into play. Let's see what we draw here. A Wasteland. I don't hate that.
Yeah. Um,
Alright, let's. Sorry about the pause. Opponent's upset too. Sometimes you have things to do in life. Um, cool. But yeah, I don't know what opponent's plan is here. We could totally lose here, but that's fine. They're down to 2 cards. We have Karakas in our hand that we can play. We want to sandbag that as long as possible. They can't crop rotation. They can't Swords to Plowshares. Okay. Yeah, I'm not worried about them comboing. We can't attack anymore, which makes me sad, but the question is, do we Yorion? I don't think we do. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, we probably just hold up this Flicker Wisp, then during their end step, let's see what they get here, I guess. Okay. Got a Thespian stage. This is fine. Yeah, okay. Sure. So yeah, we probably go Plains, put Yorion in our hand, hold up Flicker Wisp. I don't hate that. Okay, sure. Okay. So we can attack. I mean, if we do this on their end step, it's on their end step, it'll come back on ours. We also get to get in for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. During end step, I think I want to hit the Reclaimer. This lets us get in a ton of damage because we can just play this Karakas. I think we do tick up this Vial. It's an unfortunate name, but so we can attack for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I like that. Because I genuinely want the Marilage to come in. We'll see what they do though. We can't Swords Plowshares because of the Prelate, but a lot of people don't think about that fact, so we'll see. Okay, let's take the hit. I like it. I like it. Alright, you want to make a 20-20, sir? 6, 7, 8. Yep, you got your Reclaimer back. And so now we can, next turn, hold up Karakas, put Yorion into our hand, and Vial Yorion in to flicker out the Flicker Wisp, Sanctum Prelate, and Spirit if we need to. Because we probably attack. It's been a really interesting league. Lost the Cloudpost matchup, which is never has felt very good, especially since we're playing a version without Cataclysm. And then we lost to the Esper Vial deck, but it feels like we lost to more me not drawing lands. Let me know if you saw lines that I did not see, because I'm happy to learn. I feel like I've played the deck a long time, but sometimes that means you have certain biases that you're not aware of. So yeah, let's go ahead, tick it up. Wow. Wow. That's really good. Let's go ahead. Put this into our hand. Alright. We can attack for 3. That's all we need to do. Definitely meant to leave up the Wasteland there, not the Sanctum Prelate, but or not the Caracas. But it's fine to do this because that means we can put the Yorion in. I think we do this now. Ooh. Yes, Yorion. And done. And so now we get to flicker out his Thespian stage, probably. Which means he has to activate it now. I think we named 2 at this point. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah. Especially with the 2 flying blockers, I don't think we can lose the game now. But we'll see. As much fun as looping Yorion and Flicker Wisp is, I think this is just better because it also puts lethal power into the air. Yeah, game's super duper over. Anyway, cool. All right, we so it was a reasonable league. Certainly nothing to write home about, but I mean we beat Reanimator, which it always feels like there's some justice in the universe. The consideration is, like, what could we have done differently? I can't imagine I'm supposed to keep the Aether Vial, Swords to Plowshares, 5 Plains hand against Esper Vial. But let me know your thoughts. Peacekeeper, I just don't like that card. I feel like this card should just not be in the deck. It's obviously one of your only good outs to things like elves, and maybe that's good enough. I wish we had like a Magus of the Moat that was like an 0-2 or a 1-2. But I like pretty much everything else. I like against Reanimator being able to just go 14 in. Feels pretty good against Doomsday. We even get to bring in 6 cards, which is not the worst. Retrofitter Foundries felt great. I like having the extra lands. Like even when Urza Saga doesn't count as a land, it's like, well, sometimes that would have been a spell anyway. But yeah, so I like the deck a lot. I'll go ahead and post this up, and then I might be able to get another video posted early next week. But I am going to be away from Magic for the weekend, which will be a nice change. I've been grinding pretty hard. But y'all have a lovely day, and I'm going to see if I can get a new mic to cooperate with me a little bit better. But thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and take care.